maybe necessarily want to take him out ganking like that with the Nyx?
You'll always rotate it in once or twice once you get armlet, for example. But depending on how fast you can get to the lane that Nyx is in and then set up the gank is really important because teams will notice if your lifestealer disappears.
Yeah. They need a better way to deal with Bat, I think. I've seen Paj's Bat Rider. He's usually first picked if it's available, and he just gets way too much space. 3-on-1, he still gets XP and farm a little bit too much. They don't have the Ogre this time, and I just think they need really strong supports to deal with them, though. The Vengeful Spirit was already banned out on the side of Newbee. We've seen Oracle pick a decent amount, but he's actually not the best at zoning a Bat Rider. They need more kill potential, I think, on him in lane.
Need something that can start the gap close. That way they get the open wounds. If they get open wounds on Bat Rider and he's not close to a cliff or like an open space, then it should be a Bat Rider kill. So maybe something ranged.
Yeah, they banned the Rubik, though.
Rubik would have been great.
What other ones are there?
Brainstorming.
I think something like Shadow Demon can certainly work. Oh, it's already banned. Oops.
Banned.
There comes another Undying.
SK maybe, but I wouldn't want to put him in the lane necessarily. Undying.
Okay, so
that'd be 3 melee. And
yeah,
safe. That's just okay. That's gonna win that lane.
So Undying gives them the potential to go aggro try. That's the obvious thing here. I think they're just going to try to do a 1v1 is more likely what we'll see. I don't know if I like Nyx versus Bat. I feel like Nyx has some safety there, but it's not ultra safe. Like you can stun him with Spike Carapace, but if there's enough distance, he can definitely finish the kill.
There's not that many options for them, though. If they don't put the Nyx up there, that means they have to run the Nyx support, which would...
Some teams are doing that right now.
Yeah, but Nyx and aggro try support with Lifestealer and Undying. 3 melee in the versus the Drow Ranger, I think, is super weak. So I think they just... If they want to do that, they have to put the Nyx up there. And, it's not a great matchup. So I think either way, Bat is kind of set this game.
In a lot of ways, yeah. It's not too bad. And Undying's not the greatest against Bat Rider mid to late game, I would say. Maybe you can get Tomb Zombies to interrupt Blink Dagger or something, but...
Well, Bat Rider is one of the most consistent presences we've seen, in the transition from TI to now. It's still being picked. It was one of the few that has kind of weathered the storm.
He really didn't get nerfed that much, I don't think. Flamebreak lost its stun, but it also got 1 more damage tick at level 1.
Okay.
Little things like that are still, in some ways, a buff to the hero.
And so he continues to be, alongside Magi, some of the most picked, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Great tri-lane support here for Virtus Pro. If they know that they're going to be against an Undying, very likely right now. Witch Doctor is one of the best in the early game, since with 1 skill point, you can have 3 seconds of stun if it bounces on heroes only.
He's the best. He's the best.
Yeah, he's one of the best range supports. I don't really think you can contest Virtus Pro safe lane right now at this point. I think it's almost a lost cause.
So there's no inklings yet where we're going to be seeing, no one in SCC take this?
I don't know about the cores. What if they do a Riki support or something like that? Because VP's pretty low in armor right now. I feel like he could gap close. It would allow earlier lifestealer gank rotations. If they aggro try, he won't have as many levels, unfortunately. But
I just don't think you can do anything in the fight. So they'll have 4 melee. Witch Doctor and Bat Rider
true.
You'll just, I think, lose out on most of the team fights.
Yeah, it's a really great point with the Cask, because if you do have so many melees, you're going to group around whoever you're trying to dive and kill. So Cask will even be better.
Yeah.
Although with zombies, that offsets a little. I think those will tank some of the bounces.
Does it bounce to zombies?
I believe it does. Might be wrong though.
I'm not sure. I don't think it does. That would be ridiculous.
There's a lot of things that zombies are amazing for things like that.
Yeah, they are good. Zombies are annoying. I'd have to check that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure it does.
Zombies are annoying.
They are zombies, especially
I feel like
these kind of zombies. They just come out of the ground.
What about dancing zombies?
Yeah,
Undying's taunt is
I love that.
Best.
The best taunt. Yeah.
Tidehunters is the best. I think his second.
Really,
best.
you like Tidehunters?
Dude, Tidehunter backstrokes, man.
What about Venomancer? You just drop a banana on the field.
That's
people
so
are like, what is
lazy.
this? Did someone just.
Yeah, it just peeks out a banana. It's kind of stupid.
Is that the exact sound it makes? Was that? Were you the voice
I
actor
can't
for
do
that?
the sound effect for it. No, I'm sorry, Alex.
It's like a whistle, like one of those things. It's kind of
like a weird.
A banana whistle.
Disruptor.
Disruptor comes in.
Decent Bat Rider solution, kind of.
I was going to say maybe Conquer because of the X, but Disruptor fits better, I think, as a support, and the silence is good as well. And also, Weaver.
Well, isn't Lil known for he started support Weaver?
Yep.
Yes.
That's a thing, right?
That's his thing.
It's actually really good here, because with Geminate, you get a double attack, and against Tombstone, not only does he get max movement speed when he goes invis, but then he can break invis with a double attack, hit a third time.
Weaver is amazing at taking down Tombstone. Amazing.
Plus bugs against tri-lane heroes. The newbie heroes are fairly low armor. Bugs are so annoying to deal with in most cases.
There's the DK. Fucking hold it.
DK is really good here because they actually don't have enough damage to kill him. Like Nyx Assassin does very
Right.
little damage to DK, as does Lifestealer. So what is going to come out for SCCC? Invoker has been banned out.
Cross your
That's
fingers.
one of the best ones. TA I think is really weak here because of Batrider. Batrider just kind of it just makes her life miserable. What other ones are there? Storm Spirit. You have a long stun in the DK. You have the silence from a Drow Ranger. I don't think it's a. I think if it's a Storm Spirit game, it's going to be a very difficult one.
They need counter push as well. They have nothing to stop pushes. Like they have like Disruptor, Nuke, and Tombstone. Like
Yeah.
they have to like crap on lanes right now, or they're going to lose this game. So I feel like they need something that's really early game aggressive in the mid lane.
What else does SCC play though?
Storm Spirit, there it is.
I mean, even
Storm?
okay.
Okay.
Well, that gives them some aggro possibilities at least. Their lane, it's good against Dragonite in lane, definitely.
Yeah. He can get a lot of kills with the Lifestealer too, so I think it's
Yeah.
added
That's a great
benefit.
point.
They didn't have
2
a
bombs
blinker
for the
before.
Lifestealer. Oh, he can zip on the Drow as well, maybe, but it would be risky, wouldn't it? Zipping into the silence, maybe.
Not if you have a Lifestealer in you.
Yeah. He
Oh.
doesn't give a hoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's-
we had all of our questions answered, and I want to make sure we give casters ample time to jump into this one. But gentlemen, it is time for hopefully a bit of a closer game. It's already going to be. We've already seen NP get destroyed. Let's see if VP.
Oh, gee.
I'm just in it for fun.
Well, and with that, Winter, many call you the prediction god, but unfortunately, I have to say you were 1 for 3 this draft, Winter. You wanted a Treant Protector. We didn't get it. You wanted a Timbersaw. We didn't get it. You got one right, though. You got the Disruptor. Hopefully, it goes a little better for them with the Storm
Thanks,
pick.
bro.
Just want to make sure to throw you under the bus here nice and early. VP versus Newbee, best of 3 series coming in. VP looking, I think, for most people like one of the favorites at not only in the group stage but the event overall. Do you think Newbee has what it takes to bring them down?
Yes, I think they have. They are a pretty strong team. Like I would rate them like the top 6 in this event if they play really well. VP is definitely in a really hot run, but Newbee definitely has what it takes to beat them. With their draft right now, I think both teams sort of got what they wanted. Like VP has run this Weaver support with Drow a lot and has a lot of success with it.
So we're going to see the teams enter the lanes here, both getting their lane wards down for the moment. We are going to see KP playing the Nyx Assassin here that's been extremely impactful in the right hands. We've seen, I think KP has really been one of the big stories of this Newbee team where, you know, he got a decent amount of flack from the community at TI, but overall he has grown immensely as a player over the last couple, I guess like the last 6 to 9 months, maybe the last year, and he's been a huge impact player for them.
It's not easy to transition into the offlane role. I think, in my opinion, offlane is one of the most difficult roles right now to play, and he has been able to, you know, make it work really well, moving from a carry role into the carry or mid role into the offlane role. Certainly something not to be sneezed at. Like really, really good transition for him, especially recently. He's been, you know, doing really well. I think even after TI, his performance on the offlane has always been top notch, and one of the few players that I would say prioritize on his own farm a lot as an offlaner. Some offlaners, they don't really prioritize on their farm a lot, but he's the kind that makes space, but at the same time he would make sure that he gets his items as well.
So what do you think of the lanes here so far, Winter? We're going to see a Storm mid up against the DK. You've talked a lot about the roaming potential of VP and how they really look to make plays early, but this game doesn't really seem like we're going to see as much in the way of roaming supports.
Storm should get a really good early game, I think, because it's not easy for VP. There's no to roam on him. There's no Enchantress, Chen. There's no Ogre. There's no Spirit Breaker. There's nothing to roam early. I mean, they can technically roam with the Witch Doctor, but it's not going to be as effective as the heroes that I mentioned. So I kind of expect like the Storm to get away with his early game, and he's one of those heroes that if you get a good early game, you can get a lot done in the lane.
Meanwhile, top lane, Pasha could be in a bit of trouble here. He does have 9 napalm stacks up on Kaka, but
close.
it's simply not enough damage.
He was getting like the life drain from the open wounds with the Thunder Strike. So that was a really good play there by UU9. He was like holding on to the skill point. Like some players would have definitely gone for the feast at the level 1, but he held his skill point and he realized it was a good opportunity for him to get the open wounds, to get the kill, and to save his teammate as well at the same time. So great play there by UU9.
And good coordination by Newbee not to run from Batrider, which is generally what you'll see once you get like past the 5 napalm stacks mark, even at level 1.
Yep. And bottom lane we see the Undying trying his best to, you know, zone the enemy support so the Nyx can actually get levels and farm. He's chosen to go for an early point in mana burn as well, making sure that he keeps the support low on mana. Like
So the big thing, Winter, we haven't really talked about it much. Support Weaver for Lil. How do you feel about it?
I think it's very good. Weaver as a hero, I think he's a very good hero in the meta right now because of the way you can build him into the Aghanim's. Aghanim's is just so OP, in my opinion, one of the strongest Aghanim's in the game. If you can actually get to that point, it's so good for your like frontline tanky heroes like a DK. You're just sieging and you have the time lapse to make sure that you're always going to be able to get out. It's a great tool to have on your team and use. You give your team a lot of damage with the bugs, you know. Very good against the lifestealer since Rage doesn't block that.
Yeah, obviously the panel did mention a nice hero to snipe the Tombstone potentially, though if you are a support, a little bit riskier to run in aggressively.
Decent, I would say. I wouldn't say that it's the biggest reason why you pick the Weaver to kill the Tombstone, but it's one of the perks you have with the Geminate attack. Mostly support Weavers. You're going to run into KP here with a stun.
Doesn't have a point in the Carapace yet, only level 2, and they might just be able to run him down. Does have the stun, though, in reserve. Not going to risk the tower dive. The Swarm will be killed off.
Permanent shield, allowing him to survive there. Just providing the damage block.
So a relatively quiet start for both teams, but we do see no one farming extremely well against the Storm, who used to be known as like one of the anti-melee specialist mids, but doesn't seem to be affecting no one at all.
DK is pretty good against most heroes after the buff to his Fire Breath. Bottom lane, they're going on to Kaka again with the Geminate attack. Plus
Can they get the kill, though? He's going to turn this one, dropping the Thunderdome, but is there going to be follow-up? Lil will fall and trade for Kaka. Now the chase on the Faith solo. Ramsey's trying to work him down. One more Frost Arrow with the last auto attack from the Witch Doctor. Will get the kill. Ramsey's is going to live. There's the heal. They bait in KP a little bit too far. 2 for 1. Lucky it wasn't 3. And VP pulling that one back.
Yep, that was like good play once again by them. And mid lane.
Moving in, looking for the pickoff here on SCCC. They will bring the Storm down right before he hits level 6. Faith with the rotation, but a bit too late to the party, and that was right as Lil respawned. Pasha again, second time this game where he's made a move off that top lane, first to secure the runes for the DK, and now to actually set up a full-on gank.
That was a very good move there by the offlaner, 9 Pash. Every time you can't, you can't lane, you should always be looking to control runes, help get a kill on your mid lane. Like those are the things that you can always look to do when you can't stay in lane. Some players will prioritize on just farming stacking or farming jungle, but that was like a really good play that the offlaner can offer to your team in the early stages. Apart from getting stacks done, is to get a kill on the mid lane.
Oh, they're making a move now onto Kaka. Bottom lane Disruptor caught out a little bit, but at the same time they look to turn this on Solo. Trapped inside with the zombie, pretty angry. Already used the decay. Does have a Soul Rip available. And Solo able to withstand the damage, courtesy of his own heal. Even going to stick around a bit longer. Ooh. Kaka's in pretty deep. He drops a follow-up kinetic field, and Solo not threatened at all by this, though perhaps he should be.
Look at the skill build that the Disruptor has. He has 2 points in the field, and Undying has 2 points in the Soul Rip. This is very uncommon.
They just want to brawl.
Yeah, they just wanted that kill, I guess.
Well, not going to get it just yet. And meanwhile, no one has hit level 6. Does have the Arcane Rune, so he'll have the quicker cooldown on the Elder Dragon form, I believe. But in any case, working on the tower mid, so some pressure there. No real sign of rotation, but bottom lane back to Solo, caught out by KP. Not level 6 just yet. They do have access to the kinetic field. Can they get in range? They will find the opening, but Lil's arrived. He walks right into a stun. Still going to be able to find that counter kill and chase forward onto the Undying. Looking for the Disruptor as well. So far, 1 for 1. Lil waiting for the cooldown. It's pretty long at level 2. And Sakuchi, is he going to dive for Kaka? Preemptively dropping the kinetic field, but Lil just moves right around it. Baiting. No swarm available, but the double auto attack, courtesy of Geminate, gets Lil the kill. Will he make it out? Now has stick charges and should be able to Sakuchi away.
Oh,
Support Weaver doing work.
Yeah, this hero with Draw Aura does a lot of damage in the laning phase if you get those levels in the Shukuchi. And not to mention, he has that Blightstone, which allows his draw as well to do a lot more damage with the minus armor. So just very good synergy between those two heroes. It's not something you see very common, but VP does it a lot when they have the Draw Ranger. And the main concern right now for Newbee is the Storm right now. He didn't have the best start. I was kind of expecting him to, to get a better start than this, but he got ganked. So he's going to take a longer time to come online. And the first decision he has to make is whether he goes for the Orchid first, or you get the Bloodstone into a much more farming and passive game. That's like the biggest decision the Storm has to make now.
Now, we all know how up-tempo, aggressive VP likes to play. Given that and given their lineup with the DK Drow and how quickly they push, what would your preference be for SCCC?
I think I would probably focus more on farming because of their composition. The Nyx plus the Lifestealer should be able to make enough space with their roam. You Vendetta and you run around to look for pickoffs, and you need the other hero to make space. Not make space, to push out the lane so you can actually easily gank. You can't go for too aggressive build where you roam around too much on your course. Then it's going to be difficult to get kills. You need one hero to push the lane and one hero to gank. You can't go for like, say, an early Orchid on Storm and you keep running around to gank, and the Nyx plus the Lifestealer is also running around to gank. You need like one doing each job.
Yeah, and of course with Disruptor only having the level 2 kinetic field, he's got less playmaking potential here in the early stages.
He's also not a not really a playmaking support. He's just gonna, secure lanes, and then he's gonna need to sit back and stack and take levels.
KP has gotten pretty good level progression in the offlane, but again, they committed 3 heroes to that lane, so
they have level 6 on the Nyx and the Lifestealer.
Swing around here looking for Ramses. They glimpse him on back. Good swipe on the glimpse, and now the follow-up comes through. KP with the stun. Easy pick. Well, the glimpse range might not be that long, but when you come from behind, good way to set it up.
Yep, very, very big kill there by Newbee, and they did it right before daytime kicks in as well, so it was still nighttime. It was much more difficult for VP to avoid that gank. Like, you see a lot of the strong teams, they make a lot of movements during the night, like the first night phase, to get very key kills on the mid lane, big kills on the carry, and that was like one of the best kills they could have gotten with that smoke play there. Like, very well done by Newbee.
Oh, KP under Vendetta. He moves in and he's found Lil in the trees. Can they kill him off, though? They don't have access to Static Storm, but they don't need it. Newbee just smack him down. Good combo of stuns, and all set up by the Vendetta. Do want to mention that he went under Vendetta, like just out of vision of the Weaver hiding in the trees, just around that little isolated one poking out.
I mean, not the biggest kill that you want to give away as VP. I mean, if Newbee got a call kill, it would be really bad for VP after losing the draw. I hear a glimpse onto Pasha here, getting caught in the field.
Good grab by Newbee. Will there be any sort of support for Pasha? He's pretty far under the tower, but 3 heroes already diving him. A 4th on the way. They are going to begin to TP in. For now, the Weaver solo joining as well, trying to bring down the Tombstone. Pasha low, but not dead yet, and now they can look for the turn. No one's in 2. Suddenly 4 heroes to this bottom lane, but it's 5 for the side of Newbee. Pack and eat. They ball in with the Storm, instantly stunned, being controlled for the time being. They lasso the Lifestealer, but he's enraged. He's not going to strike quickly. Faith, however, will fall, and now Solo getting mauled down by the Lifestealer and his vehicle. SCCC, will he make it out? There's a Dragon Tail available. Locks him in place, gets the kill. 4 heroes dead. Dude. You want to come on our turf, VP say, and we're going to make you pay.
Dude, that was 10 heroes there at the bottom lane. Reminds me of some LGD stuff back then when the Luna gets ulti, everyone TPs to the enemy safe lane, and then 10v10.
LGD International. I don't think Theban was called Rose back then. Rose, excuse me.
Oh.
There will be a glimpse here
he's
on
gonna
no
get
one.
The tower.
And he's going to maybe get a kill as well, moving right onto that super low Disruptor. Almost dead. Will end up getting that last auto attack from the range creep, help secure the kill. No one already well on his way to that first big item, and it looks like, in fact, completed armlet already flying out at 10 minutes.
Super bad news.
He is now like almost 20 CS up on a Storm mid, and he got a little help, but mostly just the Drow Ranger.
Now you see why I
and the good fights.
Why I suggested Timbersaw against DK instead of like Storm.
Clearly, you know better than Newbee. It's only a matter of time before you're up there drafting Winter.
I mean, right now the Storm needs like a long time to catch up. Like he's too far behind. As a Storm, you don't want to be in this kind of position because DK and the Drow will want to push all your towers, and you're not going to be ready to fight. And top lane, Faith getting run down by the Bat Rider plus the Witch Doctor. There's no way out for him. Another pick off here for VP.
Salil opting for that early medallion, which will give them a lot of extra physical damage with the Drow, the early DK armlet, and can still transition back into an X from this.
You just get wrecked once you get stunned by the DK or the Witch Doctor. There's too much physical damage right now, or even the lasso on the Bat Rider. Like, VP is in total control right now of the game. They're going to be plucking out all the towers from Newbee's map, and all the map control will be removed, and it's going to be difficult for the Storm and the Lifesteal to get farmed. They need KP to do a lot of work to find pickoffs so that they can actually farm.
And you mentioned for Newbee wanting to split push, to spread the map, to stall, but two things I guess to talk about here is we do see some TP's bottom. Doesn't look like VP will be able to find a pick.
This is just good play.
But two things I guess, Winter, that I'm wondering are A, can they stop the push because VP pushed very hard? And B, will they get punished up against a Batrider, potentially a Shadowblade Dragonite or Blink Dragonite later on? Like, can they get away with that kind of split
But
push?
they don't have a choice right now. They're behind. They need some time to, pick up the pieces and get more items, especially the first big item on Storm. I don't think that it's much of an option for them. They need to farm. Even though it's risky against the Batrider, they need to try and get farm on all their cores.
Well, we'll see if they can maybe set up for that with some ganks by KP.
KP has to get a lot of pickoffs for them. So we see the Storm getting a Soul Ring, so might have a big chance that he's just going to opt for the first item, Bloodstone, so that he farms more and helps him catch up into the game. The DK is just going to be mowing down towers after tower with the draw aura right now. This is going to be very difficult for Newbee to defend on their towers. They need to find farm and just get trade-offs wherever they can. Kill some heroes with the Nyx, with the plus the Lifestealer Bomb on top of it. They're going to look to defend top right now.
I don't know if VP will be expecting this.
Level 6, yeah, it's like VP is probably like, oh, they're not going to come.
But it is a long journey for Newbee. A lot of time for VP to get wise to it. KP, the man out in front, Sentry up on the high ground. So I say not sure if they'll be ready, but they appear like they are. Lil's there in the trees. Sentry gets popped on the other side, and all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. Trow Silence coming out, but at the same time, trapped within that static storm, at least for the moment. It's solo. He's going to go down. SCCC balls in deep with the help of U9. Can bring down Ramses. They've decapitated the Drow Ranger, but Lil's looking to clean up U9. He will find the kill, isolating, finishing off the lifesteal. Now the turn. Faith to fall, and now Newbee on the run, out of mana on the Storm. Kaka being scouted by the Swarm. Pasha wants to chase. Can he get in range? Has a Flame Break in 5, but no Blink Dagger. Still with the Napalm and the movement speed of Lil. They're going to start diving here straight towards Tier 3 towers. Here's are going to be respawning relatively soon. The stun for the Nyx comes out. Only hits the Dragonite, but Lil with the plays. Dives deep for that Disruptor. Gets him too. Kaka down. And Lil just waltzes away.
I mean, honestly, that was some initiation from Newbee. They were behind, they were under pressure, they needed to make it work to get back themselves into the game. They got a really good initiation, but VP just had more fuel in the tank. They ran them down, even with the other two heroes being picked off right away. The Witch Doctor plus the Drow getting removed from the fight very early on. But yeah, the DK just too farm, at this stage.
Yeah, and you could see pretty decent static storm. Isolate solo kills him, and more importantly, I think zones the fight so that VP can't easily group up. They get the Drow Ranger early in the fight, but the problem is this Weaver is like a 4th core at this point.
This is not going to happen again. Right now, they have 2 double blinks. The last fight, they did not have any blinks at all, so VP had no way to start the fight first. So with the initiation on their side right now, it's going to be very difficult for Newbee to take a team fight like this anymore.
Well, it's going to be double Blink Winter, and it's going to be a Shadow Blade in the works for the Drow Ranger. So at that point, Ramses will be able to scout for anyone who's split pushing, potentially can break up those smoke ganks and just walk away.
Yep, it's a great item to pick up the Storm, because you understand that when Newbee can't really fight you, they're going to use the Storm to split push, and he's going to be alone trying to farm and push out the lanes. With the Shadow Blade, it's going to allow the Drow to pick the Storm.
Lil on his own, but not really. KP will scout him out.
Here comes the Batman.
Dragonite jump in. Meanwhile, the lasso is there. It's in the middle of 4 heroes. KP with the stun. It's going to whiff, but the Carapace at least will connect on Pasha. Still, though, the Flame Break pushing Kaka into the middle of the fight. No one stands strong for now, but he is trapped out, brought down in the end by the Static Storm, and the full Newbee gang just wailing away at him. SCCC now balling forward, going to find Pasha as well, making a 2-for-1 thus far. But again, it's the Weaver with the help of the Drow that's going to turn the fight. VP machine gunning heroes down. KP limping back. SCCC almost out of mana. The Tombstone will fall. They go for the stun, but Lil, he got off the stick. I think he's going to easily lifted this with the help of the Witch Doctor heal, even threatening to chase forward for more, and KP under cover of Vendetta again, but everyone all back to full health. And
I mean, Newbee there once again with a really, really good fight there, despite being so far behind. They got so much damage done to the DK, they were able to kill him off. But like you said, the Weaver, the support Weaver, the 4th core, he's just doing so much damage in the team fights.
Hey, Solo. How you doing, buddy? Goes for the stun, but Solo's so tanky, they're going to need help here from Kaka to get this kill.
Oh,
and Lil comes rushing back in. He might get a double kill out of this. The Swarm connects on both. Going to bring down KP, and now immediately onto Kaka.
Oh my
Actually,
God, he's gonna kill
just
him?
chasing forward, even through the glimpse. Continues pursuit. The napalm's there. The damage keeps racking up. I was going to ask you, Winter, how's he going to farm an eggs as a support? Well, here we have the answer. He's just going to rack up the kills.
You don't farm an axe. You just kill the enemy.
You kill an eggs. Kill your way to it.
Oh my gosh,
And
this support Weaver is just doing
8, 2, and 10. They've got
so
19
much.
kills. He's been in on 18 of them.
Well, like the thing is, they have to focus on the DK because DK takes so long for them to bring down, and it just allows the Drow, the Witch Doctor, like with all the minus armor, the Death Ward is just doing so much as well. Like you can't discount the Witch Doctor. He's also doing a lot of damage in the fights. But there's like so many targets that Newbee need to, take care in the fights. You can't just like, oh, we're just gonna all in. We're going to kill the DK, the fight's going to be over. But that's not the case. VP has so much damage coming up from the other heroes as well.
Oh, another pick. Solo getting aggressive with that smoke ward drop into a death ward and into certain death for Kaka. Living up to its name there, the ward. But Newbee just quickly losing map control and starting to feel desperate, Winter. Once this tier 2 mid falls, they're going to be hard-pressed to go for any objectives.
I don't see them defending this tower. The last two defenses were kind of unexpected from me as well, but Newbee did a good job of initiating, but right now they're just too far behind. They need to complete at least 2 items on the Storm. A Bloodstone plus an Orchid. Then they can slowly claw themselves back into the game. But as of right now, Newbee are just in a really, really tough spot. Roshan is going to be the next thing on the menu for VP.
I mean, more and more VP just seem to be the masters of like the 20 to 25 minute game. If they will find...
Oh, there's no disable. He has no lasso, so... Flame break, can't cancel the TP anymore. So KP able to get himself out. Not sure if he's going to get a Midas anymore this game. I know he's a big fan of Midas.
This is a very, very late Midas for a tri-lane Nyx assassin.
He needs a dagger to use his carapace on the Bat Rider in the fights. Otherwise, Bat Rider is just going to be able to focus on whoever he wants to, especially the Lifestealer during Rage. You really do not want the Bat Rider pulling him and stopping the Lifestealer from doing damage in the team fights. They're going to use another Infest and try to get a pick. Let's see, they do not have any vision on the enemy jungle. Like usually when you're making this kind of plays, it's either your smoke or you have deep wards placed down, so it's easy for you to gauge where is the enemy, but they're going to find Solo.
Oh, and they find Solo planting the sentry, but they do just kill him in time. Close call there. The cast, though, bouncing, and KP now being silenced. Can Ramses focus him down? Bat Rider coming in hot. Does have the lasso ready. KP gets off the carapace for now, and comboed with the glimpse might be enough to save him, but Ramses still just limping forward after him, trying to get in range. Could TP from the safety of the high ground, will do so, but meanwhile, lasso up on U9, the bigger target perhaps, that Lifestealer in a lot of danger. No one just rushing forward right past them with Lil on the backlands. He's already picked up the Mithril Hammer. He might be going straight into a Desolator. Forget about the eggs. I'm the carry now. Look at me, says Lil. 22 to 13 and straight onto the Roche. The pings go out. There is no Static Storm, and thus there is hardly any team fight for Newbee.
Doesn't that inspire you to play some Dota with support Weaver, LD? Mr. Gorman?
If this doesn't, what will?
I'll pick a Drow, we can play a pub together. I'll pick the Drow and you can...
Yeah, Ramses is the real support here, Winter, let's be honest. Only if you promise to let me get this many kills.
Okay, I can't keep that promise, sorry.
Am I too heavy of a burden for you to carry? Ouch. I see how it is. So more minus armor now to go with the physical damage. They now pick up a Desolator. Combine that with the Medallion.
The Swarm is just owning the Lifestealer so hard. Like U9 is just getting owned by the Weaver, the Swarm, just taking out his damage, and none of his supports can really help him get the bugs off. So it's very, very difficult against Weaver as a Lifestealer, like I mentioned before. Very good a hero to deal with the Lifestealer in team fights. You reduce his armor, and it's very difficult for Lifestealer to focus you because of Shukuchi. I mean, Newbee needs some miracle fight. They need to either win a huge team fight or get a lot of pickoffs with the Lifestealer Infest Bomb. And VP right now are just giving none of them. The next moment for them is to secure Roshan and then push the high ground.
Meanwhile, Storm has managed to finally scrap together a Bloodstone.
Finally.
And they scout about with KP looking for a hopeful Infest gank, but it starts to really become a problem here for that lifestealer. He's just spent so much time invested behind the enemy Weaver
he has no
support.
choice, though. He has no choice. He has to make space because Storm is far behind. They're going to come in with the Bat Rider. He's looking for initiation.
Newbee now trying to back out frantically. They do get up the Carapace on Pasha. Quick burst on the Bat Rider, but the trade is the Undying also brought out of the fight immediately.
Storm.
And now S-Triple-C muscle down. Good Dragon Tail into a quick kill. And then Lil, before they can even TP out, finding
Stun.
more.
Oh, that's
No
close.
one
Just half a
did
second.
have the stun ready, but the Rage still barely active.
Oh my god.
Still, though, this time Roche will be theirs. Didn't even get off the Undying Tombstone that fight. And Storm in one Dragon Tail
He still
brought
went
down.
He still went for a Midas, by the way. When we doubted, oh, it's too late for Midas, but he still went for the Midas on the Nyx. But
Very level dependent hero.
yeah,
And
still,
does need a lot of farm.
he still got a really good initiation. That team fight without a dagger. He got a 3-man stun. He carapaced the Bat Rider and he got a stun on the Bat, the Drow and the DK. He got a 3-man stun, but that fight was still not possible for Newbee to take since they're so far behind.
And Winter, that is really the story of this game. It's like great effort by Newbee. They're doing really well, but they just have so little ammunition to work with. It doesn't seem to matter.
I think all of this boils down to the fact that the Storm didn't have a good game. Oh no, another pickoff by Weaver, and Storm is going to bounce in. He's going to catch up Pasha here on the Bat Rider. Good kill there. Anything they can get their hands on right now is just good for Newbee. Any trade-off, anything. They need to just grab anything, and DK is going to TP in.
They want that tower. They want it bad, but it is in deny range now, and no one will deny this to them as well. Or maybe he'll give Lil the honors. No. Looks like he'll keep them for himself.
If you get gold, if only you get gold from denying your towers, then you know everyone will be like, I want to deny the tower.
That
dude.
is a great idea.
Let me deny the tower.
Ice Frog, if you're listening, and you really want to encourage more disciplined tower denying mechanics.
No, it
Gift
just,
gold, please.
It just gives the carry players, carry players like you, more reason to leave the tower. Hey, dude, save the tower for me. I'm
farming
gonna deny.
ancient stack right now. I'm busy.
Save the deny for me.
I almost have my Midas, dude.
Really? You never even get to buy that item because you never even farm that much.
Jesus. Hey, even when I lose, I can farm that much.
At the expense of your team.
Yeah, perhaps. But VP pushing out this tier 2. Do have the Hurricane Pike now as well. Great tool for kiting the Life Stealer and potentially getting away from that Disruptor.
Mr. Gorman,
Here comes the high ground
how many
push.
buybacks do they have to defend this? They have a
Not
buyback of
enough.
Storm,
They do have 3.
Lifesteal, and Nyx, 3 buybacks.
But the problem is, Winter, there's a BKB on no one. He's got 2,300 health, 29 armor, and they have an Aegis on the
They need
Drow.
a Ravage from KP.
They're going to try to go on no one, but he's already gone in first. He bump jumps in with the Blink Dagger, the BKB active as well, and goes to work the Golden Dragon, working down the Tombstone. Now turning back for KP, will kill off the Nyx almost as well. Just barely able to survive. No, he will fall to a second Dragon Tail, a second kill, instant buyback. Newbee on their last legs here at game number 1 of this series as VP lay down the pain. They buy back, but they don't even go in. They'll forfeit the racks, they'll forfeit more gold, more map control.
No, give him some time to get the Aghanims on the Weaver. He needs one more component.
I don't think it's even going to get that far. Maybe with these buildings
Give
going
him the
down.
last hit, the tower. Come on.
All right, Winter. I get it. You have a rooting interest in VP, but try to keep it in your pants just a little bit longer.
I
So
just,
VP
I just
looking,
want to see the Aghanims on Weaver,
they're looking very good at this point. And is it a surprise, really? They looked dominant at the Summit. They looked pretty damn good coming in online play for other events. And VP they seem to be getting stronger as time goes on.
Yeah,
They've taken down...
They sort of have a very, very good identity on how, a very good system on how they approach the game. And it's all about the laning phase for them. Like, VP does really well. Like, every game I watch them play. In the laning phase, they do so well. The rotations that they make for the supports. And Lil plays a wide variety of some unusual supports.
Yeah, you can't, you talk about, Ogre's one of the most important heroes. Need to think about banning him out or block picking him or at least counter picking him to the extent you can, like get an Undying to help in the laning stage. But then he just plays Weaver, So it's really tough to beat this team with straightforward bans, it seems.
But I rather fight Weaver than Ogre, to be honest.
Really, though? He's 12-2 and 16.
Nah, I still rather fight Weaver than
No,
Ogre.
it opens up more versatile options, obviously.
It's easier to draft around the other heroes. Like against Ogre, it's very difficult to draft. Like you mentioned, you need the Undying. You need to have solid lanes. It's just too much to worry when you're up against Undying. Ogre. And Undying, yes, you can deal with the early pressure from the Ogre, but when the game becomes like this, you see Faith just running around. He can't offer much to his team. You know, there's no bloodlust. There's nothing to buff your carries apart from your heal in team fights. But if the team fights is so one-sided, then Undying is not contributing anything at all to the team.
Meanwhile, no one has a completed Assault Cuirass. 600 gold banked on top of that.
You're not killing that dragon. You're not killing
But you're not ignoring him either. When he's in dragon form with a Drow Ranger, with a Deso, and a Medallion backing him up, and the armlet on, BKB active, he will kill you.
Yeah,
So-
that's what we was kind of hoping.
Yeah.
Please kill my DK and I'm going to kill all of you.
And now you're not even doing that because now he has the Aghanim Scepter, so you focus the DK and...
No, you have to kill the Weaver.
Yeah.
End of story.
But if he just sits back, good luck. How do they jump him?
And that thing has like, what, 1,200 range? Oh, 1,000 range.
It's quite good. And of course, Weaver has a lot of mobility with Sakuchi and time-lapse, so we'll have to see. VP begin their siege now, though. Already have access to the Frost Dragon, and they go to work on this building.
Storm needs to jump in and kill the Weaver somehow.
Good positioning by Lil, though. He sits very far back. He can get up the time-lapse here. He will do it. Now no one with the BKB active goes to work in Frost Dragon form. Daddy's angry, and Dragon will make them behold his wrath. Brings down Kaka as well. 4 fall. They melt. VP take game 1.
What a performance, LD, by VP. When very, very solid performance from the laning phase till the mid game. The way they game this time round was that kill. That kill on the Storm was so big in the early game before he, like pre-6, you need to kill Storm like once minimum to slow him down a lot. That actually meant a lot, especially to the DK, because DK's progression this game was like so fast because of that kill. Like one kill like that just propels a hero like DK, you snowball, you get towers, you know, he got an arcane rune, like he was like pushing all the towers so quickly, and there was like no time for Newbee to get farm on the Storm.
One of the issues for Newbee this game, to me, it felt like it was not a very good play from behind lineup, because if you're behind with those heroes, you can't find easy pickoffs. They didn't D-push very effectively. Their tower defense was basically static storm.
That was basically like
like they had to have at least an even laning stage.
That's why I suggested Timbersaw, because Timbersaw had some deep push.
Well, maybe they'll consider you as a draft consultant, Winter, but for now, let's see what the panel has to say. Alex, what do you think?
I think we are on an incredibly quick schedule. Virtus Pro, again, just making short work of an opponent here. I mean, you guys, this time, I mean, you had Winter on the desk for the first one and the casting the second one. Winter, the VP had a little bit of extra work to do this time?
Not that much. It was
Not that much.
Hey, listen, Alex. They heard lunch is getting served soon. They want to be fed, okay?
Yeah.
So
I
they're
think
in a
that's what
hurry.
your name stands for. It's lunch and dinner, right?
Yeah. They're playing today.
Wow.
All right, much love. You can go get some noms and we'll come back for our second one. Let's go ahead and introduce my panel to talk through our first match between Virtus Pro and Newbee. You heard him giggling. It's Ted. joined
Lunch
by
and
Merlini
dinner.
and
That's
Purge.
beautiful.
Gentlemen, I was asking you just before we went on, I was like, what do you want to talk about? And I felt I got a shrug from Merlini. It was a bit of a... Were you suggesting there wasn't too many standout points? Shutting down the Storm Spirit was the biggest takeaway for Winter to get the ball rolling?
I think the DK pick just kind of sealed the deal for them. They
Right.
really just could not deal with the DK at all. And we've kind of seen this from VP before. Pasha gets his Bat Rider, they have Drow Ranger, Lil goes crazy on the Weaver, and Newbee just kind of kept throwing bodies at them, trying their best to fend off their push. But
Yeah, I